Welcome everyone to Weekly News NIDW Minimajor Tidbits, and the topic for this video is Pu-Taragis April Fool's prank, Sumobra ba? Okay, alam kong hindi ito anything resembling an actual news story, but since it has been so long naman and I think this would be the last of the saga, well, why not indulge, diba? So, ganito ang nangyari. As part of their April Fool's Day prank sa ating mga netizens noong April 1, nagpost ang Taragis, isang takoyaki business slash franchisers, sa kanilang Facebook page ng isang challenge kuno na nagsasabing sila ay magbibigay ng pabuya na 100,000 pesos sa kung sino man ang magpapatato sa kanilang noo ng logo ng Taragis. Of course, naka-cut off yung totoong photo pero nakalagay dito where they instruct the users to click the photo for more info, kung saan makikita nila yung last bit na hindi pinapakita ng Facebook where it says April Fools. Now, this page is actually really active, much like any other brand na gustong umangat ang kanilang brand recognition with either influencer marketing or how do you do r/fellow kids marketing to relate to the audience and at the very least, stay up to date sa ating social cultural zeitgeist with memes making the bulk of their YouTube page. Now, a few hours after they posted their April Fool's Day prank, someone has posted a comment of a forehead with a kind of freshly tattooed Taragis logo. Talagang magugulat ka dahil first off, you'd feel bad that someone had done this, na merong nagoyo ang isa or at least ng isang definitely kinda irresponsible marketing strategy at may nakabinbin pang 100,000 para ma-entice yung mga audience, which is a really alluring na pabuya kung sino man ang gagawa nito. Now, hindi sikat ang konsepto ng April Fool's Day sa ating bansa. I mean, actually, the whole world. I think sa US and Western countries lang talaga sikat itong April Fool's Day pranks. He also looks like an old guy from the outskirts of the city, probably even in the province, which would indicate ignorance to any form of Western tomfoolery. And I'm just not saying na just because you're in the province or that you're old doesn't mean that you're already unaware of the Western tomfoolery. But again, this is me generalized. Isa pa, in a country where the minimum wage is around 300 to 550 pesos a day, 100,000 pesos is kind of a lot. Tandaan yung nasa third world country tayo with a record low media literacy rate with a president that was elected probably primarily because of favorable misinformation and disinformation campaigns sa kanyang mga pinagsasabi laban sa kanyang mga kalaban sa history ng Pilipinas at ng kanyang ama. So it is no surprise then to us na a lot of people came to the poor man's defense. Even I kind of did, pero I didn't really pay much attention to the drama surrounding this. Posted a few tweets generalizing any form of insensitivity ng mga brands na gumagamit ng foreign concepts to fool or to get in on the trends with no regards to the audience you'll probably reach, with albeit many Filipinos or Filipino youths that either won't really do it kahit na hindi nila alam yung konsepto ng April Fools. Western familiar audiences, yung mga mahihinuha or yung malalaman na nila based on context clues based on the absurdity of the deal at the texts or even yung mga reactions sa post na malamang puro haha-reacts. And some, those who may believe that this is in fact true and real. Now, alam natin even if they believe it to be real, very few people, if none, will actually take them up to the challenge. But remember that all the things I just said, which could potentially make someone take the bait, kumapit sa patalim ng tattoo. Pero again, we live in a country kung saan ang daily minimum wage ranges to only a few hundred pesos per day. Hindi pa nga per hour, pero per day. Second, he looked like a boomer. Third, the concept of April Fools is not popular in the Philippines. And a lot of people agree. Taragis is a kind of in the wrong here, at least yun yung consensus. Naglagay sila ng isang joke post na naglagay sila ng joke post na nagbinbin ng 100,000 pesos for laughs without considering o tinatansya kung paano nga ba ma-interpret ng masa and most importantly, the most vulnerable people. Kasi nga again, personally, I will never do that and a lot of Filipino people, maybe even the poorest of the poor won't, pero it takes just one person to be fooled, isang taong maloko, until it becomes a disaster. And yun yung gusto nating iwasan. Sabi nga ni Joseph Stalin, the death of one man is a tragedy. Which means na kahit isang tao ang nagoyo, it's sad. The death of a million is a statistic kasi empathy has its limits. Lalo na kung inundated ka na or overstimulated, desensitized, sanay or it just becomes the norm. For example, may mga taong nagsasabing hindi kasalanan ng Taragis ang nangyari. That the poor guy is so gullible na hindi siya marunong magbasa, na if we sympathize with him and try to defend his actions, minamaliit daw natin because we strip him, or at least because we strip him off of his responsibility to be cautious sa internet. Would you really care if your grandmother was fooled by a scammer? Hindi mo siya le-lecturean ng media literacy. Magagalit ka doon sa scammer. Sinasabi nila na dapat nagbasa muna siya bago siya pumasok ng social media at magpatattoo. Pero hindi na iba sa atin ang mga outrageous na reward for outrageous asks. Sa nagsasabing kulang siya sa pagbabasa or kulang siya sa pagbabasa, I said, I understand your point of view, but this goes beyond pushing the principle of media literacy. I mean, defending him isn't belittling his capability. Old people and even Westerners fall for this too, kahit na regularly happening na itong mga ito. But brutal honesty and conviction na tanga ang isang taong to, or tanga itong tatay na to. And the conviction without compassion is cruelty, and it shows that in your take. Kumbaga wala kang simpatsya dun sa tao na naloko ng April Fool's prank na yon at sinabi mong kasalanan niya yon kasi hindi siya nagbabasa, hindi niya binasa, hindi niya pinindot yung picture, hindi niya pinindot yung photo para malaman na April Fool's prank siya. Well, brutal honesty and conviction without compassion is cruelty, and it shows that in your take. Hindi na lang tayo dapat maging stickler to the rules. Hindi lang porque sinabing, huy, inabusuhan na kayo na magbasa kayo at i-devote nyo yung oras sa mga prinsipyo sa pagbabrowse ng internet para hindi kayo maloko. Pero that's not why people go to social media. They go to social media hindi para maging necessarily knowledgeable and to put their defenses up every time may makikita silang content, kasi that defeats the whole purpose of social media being primarily used as connection and most importantly, relaxation. Kung iisipin mo, ay baka mali ito, baka hindi siya. Kung laging up yung defense mo, hindi ka makakapag-relax. It's an escape to the reality. Tapos gusto mong suriin nila each by each. I mean, of course, they should, pero that shouldn't, or at least, we shouldn't need to be doing that. The same way you don't make fun of a person for not being the most proficient in technology because hindi sila nakatambay lang sa social media na palagawa ng post, hindi sila exposed sa social media, you don't blame the person for not being in on the jokes for April Fools. Kasi again, it's a foreign alien concept. There's heaps of disconnect between the culture you and they grew up aware or accustomed in. It's an alien concept and it isn't the wisest decision to tattoo a brand logo on your forehead, but so is dangling 100,000 pesos to the mass, or at least to the masses of a country where the daily minimum wage is around 300 to 500 pesos a day. Meron pa nagtatrabaho for less. Sure, teach and preach media literacy, but also be empathetic to the plights of the people. It doesn't help na in an interview, sinabi ng nagpatattoo na ang dahilan ng kanyang pagpapatattoo ay dahil sa kanyang anak na may Down syndrome, which of course made the outrage even ragier outside. Kasi it's kind of isang kahig, isang tuka, normal situation at kapit sa patalim move of a supposedly loving father.
Ba't mo kuya, ba't mo naisipan ano bang gagawin mo sa pera dapat?
Ano yan para sa bunso kong anak, at saka sa yung pang-tuition ng anak ko.
Pang-tuition.
Service ng anak ng bunso. Down syndrome.
May Down syndrome.
May Down syndrome kasi yung anak
Ilang taon na yung anak mo?
16 na siya ngayon, nung March yung birthday niya, 11.
March 11.
Kaya birthday lang din halos.
Marami mga personalities at brands na nag-offer na bigyan si tatay ng pera at papatanggal ng tattoo free of charge, but that doesn't, or at least that doesn't negate the point that they should be careful. Matapos mag-cave in ang takoyaki store at bigyan ng 100,000 pesos si tatay, they dropped a bombshell a few days later. Inamin nilang peke, or at least pineke nila yung forehead tattoo stunt, which honestly is a dick move, not even a good publicity move, kahit na naniniwala kang every publicity is good publicity. Kasi sa social media, napaka-sympathetic or napaka-unsympathetic nila kay Tatang. Kumbaga sinabi na, reading comprehension is a must. Kumbaga parang tinututsa nyo pa yung tao with the public none the wiser na organize itong pagpapatattoo ni Tatang ng logo nyo. Pwede sana kung hindi na nila pinahaba yung istorya, na nirefuse agad nila na kausapin si Tatang. That's not commitment to the bit. That's just being a dick. Pero proud pa rin ako that the Filipino people, kahit na nagoyo tayo, that the Filipino people, especially ang ating mga netizens, ay may simpatya sa ating kababayan. Or at least nabibigyan natin sila ng ating konsiderasyon at benefit of the doubt. That's the leftist point of view. The care for the vulnerable, the empathy for the poor, the sick and the oppressed, something na some people just don't have, lalo ni mga nagsasabi, or at least biniblame pa si Tatang nung hindi pa natin alam, or wala pang may alam, na talagang orchestrated itong publicity stunt na ito. Now, since that we are leftist adjacent now, may ibabaling natin yung cruel prank at cruel concoction o pagsasagawa ng kanilang plano sa business owner, sa bourgeoisie that exploits the working class, the proletariat, and the poor. Kumbaga, kahit na inorchestrate nila ito, it doesn't change the fact na pinatattoo pa rin nila as a sort of brand billboard sa forehead ng taong yon, ng ni Tatang. It's still exploiting the needs and the desperation of the poor. Yung pagkapit sa patalim ng mga mahihirap nating kababayan. Gumawa sila ng sistema kung saan isa sa alang-alang ang dignidad ng sarili to barely live. Ginamit pa yung sakit na Down syndrome ng anak for maximum paawa effect in his red chair, looking as regal as he wants. But again, of course, sasabihin nyo, oh, it's free trade and it's the free market. Nag-accept siya, and the fact that he consented to him being, or at least he even said to the public sa mga interview na may Down syndrome ang anak ko, that's why I did it. I mean, technically he did it for his son, pero that's still a dick move to kind of portray yourself as the oppressed one, although you are being oppressed, obviously. Pero again, gumawa sila ng sistema kung saan isasang alang-alang ang dignidad ng sarili to barely live. Ginamit pa yung sakit na Down syndrome ng anak for maximum paawa effect in his red chair, looking regal, or looking as regal as he wants. But still, I am glad that the Filipino people are as compassionate as ever. And that's the main takeaway of this video. Ang video clip na ito ay galing sa aking series na News Item Worthy Recap, so check the entire videos for the complete weekly news recap and subscribe to the channel to be kept up to date sa mga local at global news na I'll make sure will be interesting to you and to you only, particularly you. Ikaw, insert your name here, I don't know. Salamat sa panonood mga kabayang. For me, like, subscribe, and follow my links sa socials and avoid Joseph that would be linked down below. Sa susunod bali, of course, paalam. Psst.